EGM Network.
Honestly, without Treasure Coast Community Health, I think we'd be a much poorer community in terms of our health. We're always striving to fill the gap for everyone in the community, rich or poor.
Good afternoon and welcome to Community Conversations. So glad that you've tuned the radio station to this particular spot in the dial because we have, as usual, phenomenal guests that are going to talk about life in our beautiful community and how they make a difference. Oftentimes we think it's just about healthcare, whether it's medical or dental, but the reality is that we've got some inner healing that also needs to take place, not just physically, but often spiritually or intellectually. So that's my intro today for the folks from the Women's Refuge. Diane and Denise, welcome aboard.
Good morning.
Thank you.
So Diane, this organization is probably a little gem that many people don't know about, nestled right here in the middle of Vero Beach. How long has it been there?
We've been in business since 1992. It's our 27th year.
Wow.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it is very secluded from the main streets, and yet it is right in the middle of Vero. So have you always been there at that spot?
Yes. Actually, when they first started, they had a property right on 60, really close to where Scampi Grill is right now. It's a two-story that's been beautifully refurbished into a bed and breakfast. We were there for a couple of years, and then we had the opportunity to purchase the land where we are now at on Lemon Avenue. And so we've been at that location for just over 24 years there.
Well, I think I was in Vero for 15 before I ever knew about you, and then had the occasion to come in for a little tea and open house, and your campus is beautiful.
Thank you. And so many people say that when they come onto our campus, they just really feel the presence of the Holy Spirit. And talking about your teas, what we offer is once a month, we have what's called a meet and greet. And this has been a rebranding, so to speak, of those teas that we had. It gives our community an opportunity to come, see our campus, meet our staff, hear testimonies of the women that we have as residents, learn a little bit more about the services that we offer, all within an hour. We want to be very respectful of people's time. And it's great because we get a lot of referrals. There's always someone you know that could use help, whether it's counseling, whether it's some support group on different topics, or our residential program. They just need a break from life for a little bit, just to get reconnected with themselves, who they are in the Lord. We do offer a Christian live-in program for women ages 18 on up. And also we have a biblical counseling center for men, women, and families. Yes. And that's flourishing, which is good because really people are realizing, this is a tough life sometimes. And it's okay to ask for help. And we've got counselors who are willing to come alongside them and give them some real opportunities that they can see growth in their lives. We don't just put a Band-Aid on things. We want to really give them the truth, which we believe is the Word of God, but also how do you walk it out in 2024?
Yeah.
Well,
easier said than done. Very challenging environments that we find ourselves in. And if you have had any of your own traumas getting to this point in life, that just adds to the baggage that you're carrying. So it's not usually a one and done, and it's wonderful that you all understand that.
Right.
So people come and find out about you, then they probably are gathered in through the Bible studies or other group types of things. But you mentioned that individual counseling is also available.
Yes, actually, I ended up coming for counseling, over 10 years ago. and just having a little bit of challenge. And so I went to counseling there, and then they directed me in towards a support group, which was called Overcomers, which is an ongoing support group that women can be a part of on Monday evenings from 7 to 8:30. So I started attending those, and it was great. It really helped me stay accountable. And I only really received counseling for a couple of months, and then got involved in the support group. And then, as the Lord would have it, I had an opportunity to leave my current work job at the time, and I had some spare time, so I decided to volunteer. And I started working at the Women's Refuge. And I said,
you've now been the leader there for 3 years?
7 years,
7,
the executive director. I know, time flies.
Wow.
I like to joke and say, if you stick around long enough, they put you in charge of things.
I can't dispute that.
Amen.
But as you say, sometimes that's the way it's meant to be, and we just have to go with the flow and trust.
Yes, so one thing I did want to add is most of our staff have come through counseling or the residential program. It's wonderful to see the healing that I've gotten, our staff has gotten, and then we pour into others that come to see us.
A very judge-free environment, obviously.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. That is amazing. So how many staff do you have there?
We right now on staff on payroll, we have approximately 17 because we also have a resale store that's right behind the new Tractor Supply. It was the old Kmart shopping center. We've got a nice, beautiful resale shop there that we take donations, and we also sell, and all the profits that we receive from the resale shop benefit our live-in program as well as our counseling center. So it's a wonderful relationship we have with them. So if you're looking to donate things, we take everything. Clothing, shoes, hardware, housewares, computers, furniture.
You really expanded then.
Yes.
Yes.
So we, just contact our resale shop. Should I give the phone number?
Sure. You know it.
Yeah, it's 772-567-3598. And you can always go to our website. It's womensrefugevb.org. And we've got our resale shop information on there, as well as our office for counseling and our program.
So one of the things that ties into that, of course, is the assistance that those funds give to folks who are not insured, because it's not a free program, correct? Correct.
There is a nominal fee for the program. It starts at a 2-week commitment, and then it can go up to 9 months. But for the first 2 weeks, it's $425.
In the residential?
In the residential.
Okay.
And that covers everything a woman would need. It's her room, her board, her curriculum, her books, her counseling, everything she would need. And we, if she wants to stay every month after that, it's $850. And it really costs a
whole lot more, I'm sure.
It's almost about $4,200 for us to supply all of that for a woman per month. So that area, that deficit, so to speak, between rent and the cost to the Women's Refuge is made up of donors, sponsors, foundations, grants, and our resale shop, and more importantly, our events. And that's where Denise Ketcherside comes in, our development director. She handles all of our events, as well as our monthly mailings and our newsletters. And there's so much. And I'll let her.
Well, that's why I asked how many people you had, because I've seen this growth. And while volunteers are wonderful, sometimes you need the backbone of paid staff to fill in the blanks.
I do want to mention before I switch over to Denise, volunteers, most of our counseling staff are volunteers. And they give of their time, their energy, and their talents.
Oh, wonderful.
Because they so believe in this program and the counseling that we are able to give to our community, and see the changes that they're making. It just buoys us, right? It gives us encouragement. And so we want to continue.
So at one time, before we get to Denise, at one time I had heard that you were receiving a lot of referrals
from outside of our community as well. Has that balanced a little bit better with Indian River County residents, or is it still the word has spread? I mean, that's the good news. You have a wonderful problem.
We do get, for our Biblical Counseling Center, it is probably 98% local community. We do virtual counseling, so we're able to reach other areas of the world. But I will say, and I'm glad you brought it up, our Live-In Christian program, we have served women around the world. We've had women from Europe and Australia and South America, the Philippines, Canada, literally all over the world, and Korea.
That's amazing.
It is. So it's word of mouth and internet.
Okay. Yeah. Can't ignore that anymore.
No.
Denise, bear with me. We're going to take a very short break for a word from our sponsors. And when we come back, we'll talk about some of the events and some of the things that you've done to help support the Women's Refuge. So stay with us. We'll be back with Denise and Diane in just a moment. Treasure Coast Community Health in-house pharmacies have the lowest prices in Indian River County, even lower than big box pharmacies. Taking your medication as prescribed leads to better health. Affordable medicine makes it easier. Treasure Coast Community Health patients can pick up medicine as they leave the office or use free delivery and mail order services. Pharmacists are always available to answer questions. Switch to TCCH pharmacies. Save money, stay healthy. 772-257-8224 and ask about our price match.
Right now at Sunshine Furniture, it's holiday sale time. You can save up to 50% on selected groups of indoor and outdoor furniture from Lloyd Flanders, Telescope, Windward, Capri, Seawinds, Universal, Lexington, and lots more. Sofas, love seats, dining sets, patio groups, occasional chairs, dining and bedroom sets, all on sale just in time to make Santa say ho, ho, ho. We have the largest selection of coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast, including a gallery of Berlin Garden, Pollywood, Hooker, Tommy Bahama, and Lexington. Also, all pictures, lamps, and accessories are half off. And don't forget to visit our outlet and sales store just across the street from our main location with lots of new closeout and markdown pieces. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com. Come in now for our holiday half-price sale.
Sunshine Furniture.
The holidays are sweeter with United Way and Hale Groves. Now through December 25th, shop fresh, delicious citrus at halegroves.com/UnitedWay and support essential community programs. Use promo code UnitedWay24 at checkout to get 5% off. And Hale Groves will donate 15% of your purchase to United Way of Indian River County. Your order helps fund health, education, and financial stability programs for hardworking families. Spread cheer and give back this holiday season. Visit halegroves.com/UnitedWay today. Offer ends Christmas Day. Don't miss this sweet chance to make a difference.
And welcome back to Community Conversations. If you're just joining, my name is Vicki Soule. I'm the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health. And you may ask, why is she hosting Community Conversations? This is a healthcare, right? Yes, Treasure Coast Community Health does provide primary care, both for medical as well as dental, behavioral health, low-cost pharmaceuticals, vision services, sort of a one-stop shop for you and your family. But as we know that everything cannot be solved in one location or through one visit, we also know that it takes a really committed community to make this place a little bit of paradise. Mm-hmm. And so in those collaborative ventures and various meetings around town, I'm always amazed at what our collaborative partners and potential partners are doing. And so this is our give back to you so that without having to pay for a newspaper or dial in at a specific presence, you can get the news here. Weekly, we have these wonderful conversations. So welcome back, Diane, from the Women's Refuge. And Denise, I promised that when we came back from station break, as her development director, you could talk about some of the wonderful things that this community does to enhance the availability of the services at Women's Refuge.
Yes, thank you so much for having us.
You're very welcome.
So one of our biggest fundraisers is our 4 events throughout the year. We just hosted our Christmas banquet, which was beautiful and tremendous in bringing in a lot of funds for the program. We also have 2 other events. We have a 5K coming up and a health and wellness. We're fixing to release information about those 2 events.
Can't wait.
I know. They're in February and March, so we're really excited about that. Now that the Christmas banquet is over, we're going to go full speed ahead towards those 2 things. And then in September, we have our annual golf tournament, which is always a tremendous amount of fun. We had, God blessed us with beautiful weather this year. We were kind of worried because we had some rough weather in September. But we've been so blessed this year, and we're really looking forward to 2025. For those events, we seek sponsorships. So if any of your listeners would be interested in sponsoring one of those events, please reach out to me at the Women's Refuge. And then our participants as well, we couldn't do it without them, and our volunteers. You mentioned volunteers earlier. They are the heartbeat of everything we do. They save us so much money in just their skills and their talents and their time. There's oftentimes volunteers feel like they haven't done anything, and we say, you have no idea that between the time and the resources and the talents that we would have to pay for, if anyone has any kind of unique talent, it could be admin work, it could be working our resale store. Our resale store is tremendous in bringing in revenue. So if anybody wants to donate anything, if they have time and experience in a retail store and they're interested in doing that, administrative work, social media, that's something I do on the Refuge side. But
in your spare time.
In my spare time, yes. So the resale store could definitely benefit from someone who's experienced in promotional on social media. And let's see, we also have I write a lot of grants throughout the year. We've been so blessed that we have wonderful givers right here in the community. The Bernard Egan Foundation is a big supporter of ours. And then Natalie's Orchid Island Orange Juice just was another one of our sponsors, the George E. Warren Foundation. The 3 of those were our biggest contributors for our most recent Christmas banquet. And we live in such a blessed community of just selfless, God-loving people. And so we're very fortunate to have our program and to have such tremendous supporters.
So just so that we can sort of sort out the financial versus the impact, the return on investment, so to speak, in accounting terms.
Yes.
How many people do you serve every year? Or can you break it down perhaps by, what's your average attendance at the Bible study versus the number of women that you can have in the residential program?
That's a great question, Vicki. We offer 4 different support groups during the year. We have an anger management, we have a conquering codependency, we have a shelter from the storm, which deals with sexual abuse. We have I think I'm forgetting one. I know we have the overcomers, anger management. And those vary anywhere between, say, 6 to 12 participants in each class. Our Biblical Counseling Center actually sees hundreds during the year. We've got, we're open from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Most of those hours, I would probably say 75% of those hours are taken up with counseling, whether it's marriage counseling or individual counseling, family counseling. Our residential program, we can hold up to 8 ladies in our immediate program. And they can come anywhere from 2 weeks up to 2 years.
Wow.
So there is somewhat of a revolving door. So as far as 2-weekers, we could have a lot of 2-weekers, say 25, 30 during the year, and you might have a bit less for the longer stays. And right now we actually have, talking about longer stays, we offer a discipleship or internship program that is beyond the 9 months. So they can stay an additional 15 months. And we have 2 ladies.
Is that your succession planning?
Yes. No, I wish it was.
I'm kidding.
No, but it gives them an opportunity to be more involved in the community, but still have
connections,
accountability, and protection with the Women's Refuge. So we really want to concentrate on emotional, mental, and spiritual woundedness that a lot of our community experience, is to offer that in help, hope, and healing. with the program and the counseling and the support groups.
That's wonderful. I wish I could clone you. So you mentioned earlier that there is a gap between the costs of women staying and the average fee that's charged.
Yes.
And so do most women take up that opportunity?
If they're having a challenge with the cost of the program, we encourage them to reach out to family or churches or people they know that might be able to sponsor them if they can't meet the rent themselves. Mm-hmm. If they're having a challenge with paying after they've done their due diligence, we do have a scholarship program, and it's based on the individual, but we're very thankful that our community has poured into that scholarship fund for that. Same with our counseling. We only charge $60 an hour. Most places you're going to go to is anywhere from $150 to $200 an hour. So we're very fortunate with that. But we also have a counseling scholarship program. We never turn anyone away if they can't pay for their counseling. And we're also able to talk with them and find out what they can afford. Even if it's $5, it's helpful for them to have some accountability and skin in the game, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it, but I did say thank you.
Well,
it makes a difference.
It does make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it makes a difference to the funders as well, that these are not women that are trying to take advantage of a situation. Rather, they're committed to trying to improve their life circumstances. Mm-hmm. I'm sure some of them are still working as they stay with you, and others are not.
Yes.
And there's a whole variety of reasons for that and personal circumstances. You don't have any children, though, that come with the women. Is that correct?
We don't have daycare facility, but we are collaborating with a local community organization called Safe Families for Children. It's got nothing to do with the government DFS, but these are Christian parents that have been vetted and are responsible to be able to watch children for anywhere from, say, 2 weeks to a month, 3 months.
This is Jesse's program?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And we've utilized their services. They've done a beautiful job with that. Mm-hmm. So we're very thankful for that. And, I shouldn't say sometimes, most of the time, women are constantly giving out to children and husbands and siblings.
They're givers by nature.
Right. You said it right. And so this is an opportunity for them to really concentrate on their needs and to be able to understand that.
Well, I'm glad you clarified that, because I know that when I first heard about the program and compared it to the women that are coming into Treasure Coast, we have a lot of mothers that are very vested in the success of their children to their own detriment, where they haven't had their own physical, they don't get their mammograms done, anything that would detract from the needs of their children for themselves get zero play.
Right.
But you have found a way to make this successful for all the women in the community. Do you have, you said over 18, there's
up to 81.
Okay.
18 to 81.
Is the current census, right?
Right.
Okay. So again, I thank you very much for what you're doing. It's a wonderful program. We're very, very fortunate to have this here in Indian River County. It is a hidden gem, which I hope we have put a little bit of light on. Phone number again for people to call if they're not computer
Our
connected.
office is 772-770-4424.
Okay.
That's 770-4424. And thank you for TCCH.
Yes.
We value what you offer our community as well.
Well, it's all about collaborating to make the best we can for the places we live. It's a short time here, and so we need to make the best of it. So I hope that you will consider that as we go through the various holidays at the end of the year and beginning of the new year, and treat your heart the right way. And have a good evening. Bye-bye now.